Hello, everyone. I'm Angela,
And I'm Keisha.
and we're Wander America.
Today we will be doing a quick update video because some of our followers have requested, what are we doing? How is it going so far? So that's what we wanted to tell you today.
The first question we have is, what are we doing? Well, we are taking a 9-month road trip from the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota area down south to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and back up again.
Our plan so far is to stay at each location for about a week, with our moving days being on Sundays. We also plan there to be 2 to 3 hours per driving time between each location, so we can stay at each state for about a month.
Another question we got is, what kind of sites are we staying at? Well, we've stayed at a variety of campgrounds on this trip so far. We've stayed at some state parks, some Army Corps of Engineer campgrounds, and even a couple RV parks. It depends on where we stay, what kind of site we have. We usually have water and electric hookups, but sometimes we'll have full hookups, water, electric, and sewer. And sometimes we'll just have an electric hookup and we have to fill up our water tank with water when we get there. The site we get all depends on tree coverage, because we need a site that's pretty open and doesn't have a lot of trees so that our Starlink works for internet, because she works full time and we just need internet.
Yes, and a lot of questions we've had is like, how is Starlink working with us? So far it's been really well, but we also make sure when we're booking those sites that they are very clear. If we can't find a clear site, we move on to a different campground when booking. We don't set up and then move. We find a clear site first, and then we troubleshoot any issues with Starlink. A lot of times we have to have Starlink a little bit more away from the camper than normal, because it has a clear area. Otherwise, I'll climb up on the camper and set up Starlink up there, because it will have a better way to reach the satellite. But so far, so good. We've had some really rainy days, and that affected Starlink a little bit, or when it was super duper cloudy. But otherwise, it's been working really well. I haven't had a whole lot of issues on any of my meetings. So far, so good. We'll keep you up to date if anything changes. We've also been asked, what kind of activities are we doing or plan to do, or what makes us decide what activities we want to do in the area. Well, a lot of that depends on what activities are actually in the area, depending on where we're staying. After that, it also depends on when those areas are actually open. A lot of times we do hikes or bikes, and those usually don't have a closing time. Sometimes we want to go to a cool museum or an attraction that is very nice and local, but sometimes those close early, so we either can't make them on this trip because I do work till 4, or we have to make other arrangements and plan accordingly.
One downside right now is daylight savings time. She gets off work at 4 o'clock, and that gives us about an hour, maybe 2 of daylight to drive to wherever we're going to go, do whatever we want to do. It's just kind of a downside to this time of year. Obviously, we would like for it to be light out a lot later.
Yes, and now that it is kind of off-peak season, a lot of attractions or activities close earlier than normal, or they might not have updated hours. So you might go to something, be like, hey, awesome, yes, I have a couple hours to do this, and actually they're like, no, we're closing. You can't do what you plan to do. So that sucks also. But it is what it is. We have to kind of call ahead to see if they're going to be open, see if we can get in to do certain activities, verify that their hours are correct, because sometimes what's online is not correct. Definitely if you're doing stuff off peak hours or peak season, make sure you call them and verify that you're able to do what you're able to do that day or that weekend, whatever you plan to do.
Another question we got is about food. We usually try to eat at home most days of the week. We have an indoor kitchen, and we also have an outdoor kitchen that has a Blackstone griddle. Usually we do most of our cooking in the outdoor kitchen. The Blackstone is really nice. It's less dishes to wash. You don't have to cook inside and have to have the fan running and all that. We usually try to make most of our meals at the camper, normally on the Blackstone. We've made some pretty good stuff on there, so.
Yes, we have. We're always trying new things, even new recipes. Besides that, we usually go out to eat maybe once or twice a week, depending on what's in the area. If a specific location has must-try unique food, we usually try to pick that up when we're in the area. I know a lot of different states have different food that is unique to those states, so that's something we also want to try to eat on this trip. See what everybody's doing, see what they enjoy, and see if we like what they're doing. If not, we will let you know.
All right, so how's it going so far overall? I would say it's going pretty well.
Yes.
I think we're both really enjoying it. I know I'm really enjoying seeing the different sites, going to different attractions, trying different foods. Just overall, I think we're having a really good time on this trip. We've been really lucky with having great weather. We did have a few rainy days here in Arkansas when we first got here, but for the most part, I think the weather's been pretty nice. I know it's definitely a lot warmer here than it is at home right now in mid-November, so that's good.
I've been having a wonderful time. I do know I have to work, so it's like I don't get to be outside all the time and do a whole bunch of fun things like other RV life campers. But, you know, this is what we can do. So I've been enjoying it. I really do like it. The weather, like Angela said, has been really great for us. So far, we haven't had any major breaks or replacements for the camper truck. But when we were leaving Little Rock, we did have an issue where we had a blowout on one tire and we also had to replace another one, both on the same side. But we were able to complete that all under $350, so that's good. I'm happy the TPMS worked.
Yeah, definitely get a TPMS. We've also been asked how our dogs are liking it so far. I think they like it pretty well. They get to go on a lot of walks, smell a lot of new smells, take them on as many hiking trails as we can with us. We take them on walks around like the campgrounds or RV parks that we're at. I think they're doing pretty well so far. They seem to have gotten used to staying in the camper.
I know my dog, Miko, he's a small white one. He really likes it because it's not too cold yet. This time up in Minnesota, he'd be kind of like, okay, it's freezing. I don't want to be out here anymore. But he really likes staying outside. He likes being able to be outside for longer amounts of time because, you know, it's warmer down here now that we're in the south compared to up north in Minnesota. But they both like it. They know what moving day is. As soon as we get started in the morning, they enjoy the car rides. I'm surprised neither one's freaking out right now that I just said that word. But no, they're really enjoying it so far. No issues with them either in the truck or in the camper. They've been doing really well, and I think they've acclimated to this new lifestyle.
I think so too. All right, well, that's how things are going so far. If you all have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and we'll probably do another update video in another month or so, see how things are going. All righty.
See you next time. Have a good day.
See you next time.